He certainly made an impression. He arrived as Mark Ricciuto, and then Mac was calling him the Roo by about game 20. Listen to these numbers: 312 games between 93 and 07, 8-time All-Australian, captain of the All-Australian team twice, premiership player in 98, 3-time club champion, captain from 01 to 07, most games as captain in the history of the club, Brownlow medal, AFLPA best captain 05 and 06, leading goal kicker 06, captain of the Italian team of the century, All-Australian Yabby fisherman, and unofficial Lord Mayor of Adelaide, Mark Ricciuto.
I don't think my kids can believe I had hair back then, can you? Nick, Rosie, and Joe's here asleep, and Soph's back there as well. She wanted to come up. But Chappie, you were right when you got up here early on the night and said it's one of the most important nights, and maybe the most important night ever at the Adelaide Football Club. And I think it is, because it's 25 years. And yes, we have won a couple of flags, but tonight is about everyone. It's about supporters, it's about sponsors, it's about the inductees, the coaches, the staff members, the parents, everyone that's given to the Adelaide Football Club, because we've heard some great speeches tonight, whether it's Bob Hammond, who was so, excuse me, I've lost my voice for the last couple of weeks, but Bob Hammond, who was a sensational chairman for the first 10 years of the footy club, or Bill, the CEO. It's been a special footy club for all of us, whether it's mods, and we know how much we all love mods. It's been great to see him here with his kids today up on stage playing the drums and everything. Goody back from Melbourne, Benny Hart back from Melbourne, Bungie here tonight. We feel probably guilty coming up here tonight, and I don't say that lightly. It doesn't feel right that we get honoured tonight, because we are humble. We understand that we are, I guess, representatives of everyone here tonight, about whether it's what Goody said about Rob Gerard talking about the tribe. We just wanted to play footy, and we wanted to play our best footy, and we always wanted to play at the Adelaide Football Club. And when we went out there, we gave it our all every single week. For me, it was about showing off in front of my mates coming down from Waikerie, or my mum and dad coming down every week. And while I'm on my mum and dad, what an amazing upbringing I've had. I was picked up, Bill and Johnny Condon and Curls. You can't forget Curls. He should be here tonight, but he's got golf in the morning. He couldn't miss golf at Walker Flat. They signed me up in 1991 at the end, after playing at Waikerie, and the next year I did 52 trips to Adelaide, 400-kilometre round trips in the VL Commodore. Dad used to pick me up at 1:30 at school, pick me up, come down, train for Westies, go back home, and go back to school the next day, come back on the weekend and play for Curls. 52 trips was a massive sacrifice for my old man to do at a time when he was struggling on the fruit property. But he never said it once. I didn't have a clue, and it didn't matter, because he just did everything he could for me, and I'll never forget it. So thanks, Dad. Behind Dad was Mum, and when I get up in the morning for school, I'd jump in the shower, my clothes would be on the bed, I'd get out of the shower, my breakfast would be on the table, and the advertiser would be open to the sports page. She was the best mother you could possibly have. My brother's here tonight, and he'll back me up on that. And if ever you could have preparation to play AFL footy, I had the perfect upbringing. Working hard on the fruit property, going to Ramco Primary, riding the bike, getting chased by dogs on the bike on the way home, pedal a bit faster, and then playing footy at the Waikerie Footy Club. The Waikerie Footy Club, if there's a better footy club in South Australia, I'd like someone to show me where it is, because I learned a lot at Waikerie. We won premierships most years, and if we didn't win it, we bloody tried a lot harder the next year. And just an awesome footy club. We had great coaches. We had a community feel, a lot of passion, great leadership, and still to this day they win flags when they shouldn't. And we're due for another one, I reckon, at Adelaide, aren't we? We haven't talked too much about flags recently here tonight. We've talked about 97 and 98, and it's been a fair while between drinks. And probably that's the main reason I got back involved in the footy club last year. When I finished playing, I was mentally and physically tired and needed a rest. But last year, I couldn't sit back on the sidelines and take pot shots on radio or in the paper or whatever anymore. It didn't feel like we were going the direction that we needed to go as a footy club, and that happens from time to time and week to week in footy clubs. But we're better than what we've been, and I want us to win another premiership soon. And it's a pity that the current players aren't here again tonight. I'm sure if they stayed a couple more hours, they might have learned a fair bit from what they heard tonight instead of getting a bit more sleep. But we need to win another flag, and if we're going to do that, Chappie, us as a board have got to be better. Fags, us, you guys as a management team need to be better. The coaches need to be better. The players need to be better. The sponsors are going to have to give more, and the supporters will come along for the ride. If we're going to beat Hawthorn or Sydney or Freo or Port or whoever gets in our way, we've got to be better than all of them. And as Blighty said, you win one in every 18 years these days with the way it's set up. And I think we've made a few good calls. I think we've got more to go. And I bloody hope we can win one in the next few years if we make a few good calls. So there's heaps of people we'd like to thank. I don't want to take too much of your time because everyone's pretty much said everything, but I've already thanked Bill and Bob, Maria Ballastrin, Di Bean, Rexy Lay, BJ, Gary Googe, Vinnie Del Bono, Potts, Brian Sando's name hasn't come up tonight. Bloody hell, he was a good doctor and did a lot for us. I've got to thank Simon Tregenza and Sean Tasker for taking me under their wing. I don't think they're here tonight, but they did look after me when I come down from Waikerie. I don't know if I was under the right wing, but they took me under it, and we had a good time. Chris McDermott, I love that photo of him earlier. He looked like a bloody heavyweight or middleweight boxer up there, and that's what he was. He was the toughest bloke I've ever played footy with, and a great leader. To have Bob Hammond and Chris McDermott as chairman and captain held us in real good stead at the start of the Crows. And Chris McDermott was like a young father, an older brother to me when I come down. And Bone's a bloody ripper of a bloke. So thanks, Bone. Curls was good to me, and he's a ripper of a bloke. Robin Fay Gerard, I wanted to say a special mention to. You need good people at footy clubs, and Rob and Fay are amazing people. And I think I've had one of the best days of my life on the boat in Sydney at the 2000 Olympics. Just an amazing day, and you're still doing it now. I came to your place a few weeks ago, and it was a couple of months ago now, and it was just an amazing time. So thanks for that. Johnny Reid and his wife Di are here tonight. Johnny Reid. I remember talking to Goody and a few of the boys about the same age, thinking he was half a pain in the arse at the time. But Reedy, you knew what you needed to do to keep us in line, and we needed that at times because we like to push the boundaries a little bit. But I think that's what made us pretty good players in the end, because we did train hard and we played hard, and we did everything hard really. But you sort of kept us in line, and you're a really important part of the footy club for a long, long time. Neil Craig's name hasn't come up tonight. And Neil Craig was a bloody fantastic coach. Goody spoke about, improving us as people, and Neil Craig, there was no one better than that. He might not have understood footy as well as Malcolm Blight, but not many did. But tell you what, Neil Craig, he's a freak, and I'd have him back at the Adelaide Football Club anytime. Graham Corns as well, he was ahead of his time. I wish we did win the 93 flag, but we didn't, but we had our chances and we weren't good enough. But bloody Graham Corns was a real tough bugger, and I don't think we've ever trained harder, and we trained pretty hard under Neil Craig, but Graham Corns used to do competitive work for 2 or 3 hours at a time, unless you played full forward like Mods. Cornsy was tough, and we did 110 100-metre sprints in 1993, and I don't think I've ever had a harder training session than that. But Graham Corns was very important in the history of the football club as well. Peter and Jenny Hurley have been good to me, and I want to give them a special mention as well. When I went through, or when Mum and Dad went through the tough times on the Fruit property, and when I come down to Adelaide and got a contract to get paid to play footy, and I couldn't believe it at the time. Even though I did metal work and ag studies and PE in Year 12, I wasn't dumb enough to realise that I was getting a good opportunity to put some money away and look after my life ahead of me. And what I wasn't smart enough to learn at school, Peter and Jenny certainly helped me out in the world of pubs. So Pete and Jen, thank you very, very much for giving me a hand with that. And obviously, last but not the least, my wife Sarah, and 4 of my kids that are running around here tonight. It's good fun making them, but it's bloody hard looking after them. Got Sophie, who's 8, Nick, who's 6, Joe's 4, Rocco, I missed one, didn't I? Rosie, she's 3, and Rocco didn't come tonight, he's 1.5. And having kids is bloody good fun, and life after footy's good. But thanks to everyone for coming tonight. It is a special night. I'm rapt that we've had 700 here. Next time we do the Hall of Fame, whether it's in next year, the year after, or 5 years, or whatever it is, I hope it's a bigger and better night. I think these nights are the most important nights of the footy club. The AFL Hall of Fame's the biggest night in the AFL, and I'd like to think next time we'll get more past players here. We'll capitalise on the great work that Rod Jamison's done over the last couple of years, which shouldn't be underestimated, because our past players haven't been as strong as they need to be the last couple of years, and I think people should recognise what Jamo's doing at the moment, because he's doing it for nothing. And in any football club, whether it's here or Waikerie, past players need to play a role. And Jamo, you've done a bloody good effort on that, so well done. There aren't enough past players here tonight, but I've seen a couple. Matty Liptak, Peter Caven, David Marshall are there. There's probably a few others. I'm sorry if I missed you, but thanks everyone. 25 years is a special time. It's gone quick, and I hope, as I said earlier, that we can win a premiership in the next few years and continue on this great footy club and continue to have success. So thanks everyone. Thanks to Blighty too. I missed you, Blighty, but you know how good you are.